What's going on, guys? So today I want to share with you the biggest mistakes I see people making when they're setting up their Amazon account. There's a couple different settings here that aren't huge deals, but make a big difference with shipping, with how you're charged, and a couple other things. So let me show you those right now. So the first one is going to be your charge method. Now, how to get here on your account is under just general settings. If you click on the top right, you can click into your account and you'll see settings. And this is kind of the main screen you get. So if you want to get to the charge methods, we're gonna change our charge method for advertising right here. So once you click on that, it will bring you to a screen that looks like this. And by default, it will be on credit card method. So you will have a credit card on your account. And what this means is when you're running PPC or ads on Amazon, you're getting charged directly to your card. Now with Amazon, you get paid out every 2 weeks and you have a balance. So if we switch this to our seller account, they just take the money from our profits we're making on Amazon instead of coming straight out of our credit card or our bank account. So it's a lot better to wait 2 weeks, get it charged, especially if cash flow can be an issue for you. So make sure you have this setting changed. Again, on default, it's normally credit card. So you will have to go in and make this change. Now, the second setting, which is probably the biggest one on this list, is going to be something in the shipping settings. So how you get here is on the top right of your screen under settings, you'll see a drop-down menu, and we're gonna go to, let me try and make this bigger for you guys. We're gonna go to fulfillment by Amazon and click on that. And those are all our settings for FBA and how you'll get to any of these. And that will bring up a screen that looks like this. So once you're here, you can see a couple different settings. So the first one is optional services. So by default, don't worry about changing this first one. Who preps? Now what that means is when you're sending your inventory to Amazon, is it ready to go? Do they need to move one unit from over here and put it in a packaging with this? 99% of the time, you're gonna have it all prepped. You're not gonna pay for that. So I always leave that as merchant. And again, these are how it comes default. Now who labels? Normally, I will have Amazon or my supplier do the labels. So by default, I put merchant, but you can always change this when you're making your shipping plan. Now, the big setting right here that we're gonna change is under inventory placement option. And it's under inbound settings, again, under FBA. So when we go to that, let me click on this. It's gonna bring up a screen that says this. Now, don't worry, you don't have to read the whole thing here if you can't see it on the screen, but by default, it will be distributed inventory placement. Now, what does that mean, put simply? Instead of giving you one address to send to your supplier to send inventory, they're gonna send you 3 or 4. So you're gonna have to tell your supplier, hey, I need this amount of units here, I need these ones here. So they're gonna give you 4 different addresses. Now, this will make your shipping way more expensive if you need to send it to 4 different places from your supplier. However, there is a small fee for this. I believe it's 20 cents per unit, which is way cheaper than if your supplier did the distributed inventory, because you're gonna send it all to one factory for Amazon, or I shouldn't say factory, but one place for Amazon, and then they'll send it to smaller warehouses for you. So I always use this. I've never seen a case where it's cheaper doing distributed because it's more expensive for your supplier to break it up like that. So this is the big setting you guys need to change. It's normally distributed by default. Change it to inventory placement services. It is a small fee, which you guys can click and read under there if you want to know more on that. And then small other ones I have is show restricted items warning. So it'll let me know if something's a restricted product. Now, the last setting that I like to change, and this is completely up to you. Some people have different preferences on this one. There isn't a right or wrong on this one, but repackage unsellable customer returns. Now this is under the main settings again for FBA. So go to the top right, click FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon, under settings. It will bring you to this screen again. And this is under repackaging settings right here. And there's an edit button in the top right over here. And when you go here, I don't remember what it's on default. I think it's normally enabled by default, but repackage unsellable customer returns. Now what does that mean? Customer returned your item. It's in good condition, the box is fine, the unit's fine, it looks like new. They'll put it back in your inventory and have it for resale. So let's say you get 10 returns. those go back in your inventory. Let's say one is broken. Someone broke it and returned it. They'll leave that there. You can have a setting in here where you can send that back to yourself. You can have them dispose of it. But the rest of the inventory that's good, they will put back into your actual active inventory on Amazon, so you don't have to do any work there. Or you can disable that and then choose, it'll show as unfulfillable inventory, and you can choose to send it back to yourself or to dispose of it. Both have a small fee. But I have this on if the unit's fine. I've never really had an issue with this. You might have a couple people say, well, my box was opened, it doesn't look like new. And in that case, you can say, okay, I'll send you another one completely free. And with that, you're gonna make more with them putting it back in inventory than the issues you'll have with that. However, it can affect your rating if the person doesn't want to reach out. So that's why this one is kind of optional and can be up to you as an individual. Now, these are kind of the main settings that by default I don't use, that I go and change. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Not too long of a video, but I get a lot of questions on these, and a lot of people don't know that these settings exist or how to change them, because with these drop-down menus, with how many settings there are, when you see this screen with all these settings, and then you see this one over here with more settings, if you're doing fulfillment by Amazon with these settings right here, the only things you should ever have to change really, or let me put it this way, you should never have to change your return settings, your gift options, your shipping settings, if you're fulfilled by Amazon. These are for fulfilled by merchant. So you shouldn't have to mess with these. Same with info and policies, that's kind of by merchant. However, permissions, tax stuff, account, notifications, login, that's all up to you. You can change that. That's for both. And then fulfillment by Amazon obviously brings us to this screen where we can change a little bit more. There's a couple more settings that go down, but it's more notification if you want to answer Amazon customer emails if they ask you a question. So completely up to you, but make sure you have that shipping setting changed and the charge method for ads. It makes it a lot easier when you're just beginning with cash flow, because my first paycheck on Amazon was negative because I did that with my PPC, and that way it didn't come out of my bank, which I didn't have enough money to pay it anyway. And that negative balance just added to the next balance, which then became positive. So I was able to float on a positive cash flow longer. So hope that was helpful. If you guys enjoyed and you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys tomorrow with a cool little interview with the owner of Jungle Scout. It will be live at 12:30, so make sure you tune in, and I'll see you guys there.